Big Scream is a hugely successful community event every year. But I think this year was obviously more important than most because of the impact of COVID and the COVID restrictions.
In these times, people feel isolated and socially excluded as it is.
I think this year was really important for the Big Scream to develop some sort of plan to motivate the community that things can still happen, although a lot has stopped in the last 6 months.
This year more than ever, I thought it was so important that the Halloween event went ahead.
This year's festival started with 31 Screams of Halloween, 31 days of competitions. It was all run online, from toilet roll, keepy uppies to makeup competitions. It was brilliant. It was good to see people engaging online constantly, hearing young people when they won to go off and collect their prize. I think that in itself is something that could be ran in any season, and I think it was a really cool idea to try and kick off the whole festival with.
This is actually the happiest day of my life right now.
They had great fun doing the creative workshops, and it really gave them a kind of a focus, especially coming back after the summer and going back into school and things being so different for them. It kind of just gave them an outlet that was fun, but had still a strong sense of community, that everyone was involved in this.
From a BYC perspective, it's very important for us to be part of a collective approach, because it just brings services and it brings young people together that wouldn't normally mix together.
What's that? What are you running for? Oh my God. I'm sick.
The scary movie. For the young people to actually see their work, I think was amazing.
We didn't realise at the time when everything was being videoed that there was going to be special effects put in the background. So when they were saying their lines, in particular Graham, you're thinking to yourself, he looks a bit silly here, but when you see the final result, it was amazing. It gave a little bit of a boost to that group in particular, and especially that age group, because it's very limited the amount of things that they can get involved in when it comes to activities outside of their home and outside of the programme.
The young people in Swan were involved in the workshops for the haunted house. They were making all the props. They loved that.
Especially the haunted house, they really enjoyed using their imagination to create room for the haunted house to scare people, and they were very proud at the end of it to see what they actually made.
And then they were involved in the special effects makeup. So creative, and everyone can be involved because it's all part of costume and makeup, which is all part of Halloween.
And the special effects, it's such a crowd pleaser, everyone loves doing it. They get to create some gory blood and cuts and scars. It's very skill based, once you do it, young people are really like, oh, I could do this at home, and do it yourself on Halloween night for your own costume and stuff like that.
The Halloween Fest this year was very different, but very needed. For Casper, it worked really well. Halloween packs were great. For us, arts and crafts are very important because children, it enables them to use their imagination, it enables them to develop, their fine motor skills, but it also gives them an opportunity to interact with other children because they're all in their own bubbles. Arts and crafts are important because you get a sense of self-satisfaction when you have made something. That's yours. That's you producing what's in your imagination. fairy trail was absolutely magic, particularly for the younger ones, because like that, we were able to go out into the park. It was being in an open space and going searching for the little doors and following the trail. It was very different, but at the same time, it shows us how you can be interactive in a different way.
They enjoyed the walk around. It was more so that when they came back, it was the imaginary stories that they came up with about their experience in the fairy garden. It was a lovely experience for them.
It was an adventure.
Welcome to Transylvania. My name is Count Dracula.
We did the Zoom Dracula with all of them, but particularly for the older kids. They absolutely loved the spookiness of it, while you're afraid but you're excited. Then they did the Dracula house, and then they had to go and find his grave in Ballybough. So they were fascinated. That gave us the opportunity for them to participate, to learn history.
There was a good buzz to kind of figure out where the fangs were or what it meant. Many young people knocking in each day asking like, oh, what's this hint? Like, where do you think it'd be?
And they were going around getting the vampire fangs, and we did our young people that done the scavenger hunt and stuff like that.
For the 3 days it was on, we had people coming in and out looking for bingo books and collecting it for their nannies and their aunties, and they were talking about how they were going to sit in together and do it. We also took part in a couple of them where our groups, it was definitely something different, you know, than what we usually do, and the young people enjoyed taking part and seeing so many people even on the screen like, oh, I know that person and I know this person, and winning prizes. They were delighted to win something and go up and collect it.
I tried the Halloween bingo on 2 nights. The first night I was overwhelmed because I've never played bingo before. So I spent the first half hour, I suppose, laughing at the fact that so many kids were in and kept on asking for Dracula to slow down and could repeat the numbers, and that was very good. I was delighted to see the amount of people that took part in the North Wall area. It's more so great to see all the families at home. The mammy, the daddy, the kids, the grannies, you know, whoever lived at home was taking part.
On Halloween night, I joined 2 teams of people who went out on 2 crazy minibuses around the area and interacted with people and gave away chocolate.
The buses that we went out in, that was amazing. Like, who would have thought we would have been able to socially distance, trick or treat for children who were probably feeling a lot of upset and deflated almost that they couldn't go trick or treating because it's a huge part of Halloween, and to be able to see little children's faces when they're dressed up receiving chocolate, and it was just great.
We were on the second bus. We were kind of like the foot soldiers. If we didn't see a group, we'd run and look for the group. We'd get the group to come out, make a bit of noise.
We went into some of the estates and people came out to us, and it was the best fun ever. We got so many smiles. Everybody seemed to be particularly happy. Just to have any interaction with anybody, and it was just a wonderful experience.
They came out, we danced, we had a bit of crack, delighted to get the sweet. Just loving the fact that there was this music pumping in the middle of the street, just out of nowhere, you know.
I think we should actually do it even next year, even if we have the big event on the street. It was just a great thing. People really appreciated the effort that we went to.
I think the atmosphere on Halloween night was deadly, being able to be on the bus and to drive around to the known areas to celebrate Halloween, I suppose.
It was a really, really tough year and the goalposts kept moving. But I think there was such a strong sense of commitment from the team and everyone organising it that they wanted something for the community. So whatever it was going to be, we'd adapt. That was a great feeling, I think.
At the end of the day, it was all the organisations coming together, each community. And I suppose with the help and support of the NEIC and all the funding, sure, it made it a great year. What would have been an otherwise boring Halloween night.